Hey guys, quick video. I wanted to show you guys my greenhouse I built 2 years ago. I was going to do a quick walkthrough and show you some things I would change and some things I absolutely would not change in case you guys are thinking about building one. I built this greenhouse mainly to grow my garden vegetables in during the summer. I do wicking pot system. Sometimes I do hydroponics in here, but mainly wicking pot. Full disclosure, it's hard to see in the distance, but I got another smaller greenhouse that I actually can overwinter plants in. This one's a little harder to heat in the winter, but I'll show you that in a minute. So things I would not change. The length is 12'6". I'm sorry, the width is 12'6", the length is 20 foot. I probably would not change that. I wished I'd have made it a tad longer so I could get a few more garden vegetables in here, but it's plenty long. The height is 11 foot. I did that on purpose to have upward growth of all my garden vegetables. You'll see that in a minute. I would not change the heating system, which I'll show you. Probably wish I would have added propane, and I still can, off of a bottle, but I actually have natural gas here. Probably should have added a natural gas input. It would have been easier to heat, but I live in Alabama. Doesn't get too cold here, but it did this last Christmas. It got really cold. So this is the inside. Let me turn off the ventilation system. Ventilation system runs off of a thermostat. When it gets to a certain degree, you'll see them shutting now, but these louvers open and then they shut automatically. Originally I only had the one fan in the attic, which comes on at the same time. So basically you get the draw from the two lower louvers at a low point, and then it exits out the air through the highest part where it's hottest. So I've added these two extra fans since. That's one of the things I would have changed. I would have added more venting. My biggest complaint of the greenhouse, it still gets too hot. I wished I would have added a lot more venting. I should have probably added 1, 2, 3, 4 of those automatic type opening vents right there on each side to get better cross flow. I've got 2 on this side. Should also put 2 more here. So that's one thing I would have changed. I would have added these 3 fans originally all in the highest attic part, and I would have made them all 20-inch fans, which is what these are. So I definitely would have changed that. The thing I would not change is this heater. It's a 220 volt electric heater. It's also digital thermostat driven. So obviously when it gets to a certain temperature in the winter time, that'll kick on. I also have an extra 1500 watt heater that runs off 110 that I run off that digital thermostat. So, where I am, it rarely gets down, to 15 degrees. We're usually in the 20s at lowest. However, this Christmas got to 0 a few days. So, it's hard to keep this greenhouse because of the height. It's hard to keep this greenhouse heated if it gets that cold. If I'd had added natural gas, and I could still add propane, and that's no big deal. I actually added propane at Christmas, and it kept it, 38 degrees in here. But something else I would not change, the rain gutter system, rain collection barrel system is absolutely awesome. I basically have gutters on the outside. It collects water. It comes down in this pipe from both sides, goes through a first filter system, and then it fills the barrels. I run a pump because I can fill my wicking pots faster. I fill them from the top, and so I can water a lot faster when I fill those. And I don't know if you can see, but on the outside I have another 5 additional barrels. So in the summertime, I'm collecting through 7 of these barrels at 55 gallon. So, I rarely run out of water. If we get one really good rain every 3 weeks, I have no problem in the summertime. Full disclosure, I live on the river. I do have this system hooked up to my sprinkler system where I can actually pump water into these barrels at, worst case scenario. So, but I've only done that probably twice in 2 years when it got really dry for about 5 or 6 weeks. So I really like the rain barrel system and my pump. I did have to add a pressure switch because this pump runs continuously, so I put it on a pressure switch so it would cut off when I cut the hose off. And I apologize for the little bit of fog. My iPhone, I broke one of my glasses. One of the outside bulbs has broke, so I get a little fog when I do a video. So the main thing I would change if I had it to do over again is the venting. I would have added probably more vents or windows. Probably also, you can see I added a screen door, and in the summertime, I take the whole window and screen out of it where bees can get in. I probably should have done that on the other side somehow. I could have also done it if those fans wasn't there now. I could have added, 4 windows and just left them open. And I'm probably still gonna do that right here. I'm probably gonna add some windows or additional venting. I just hadn't done it yet. So, but that's it. This is the way I stake my garden. I also have these strings that I've used in the past, and they work good on my tomatoes. They're like little rollers, and you can roll it down and use tomato clips, and the tomatoes grow up that really well. But this year I decided to try a hard structure and see how it went. So I poured concrete in the middle, which I would do again, just because I roll big pots in and out of here sometimes during the winter, and that makes it a lot easier than on this gravel that I filled with the rest of it. So other than that, there's not really a lot of other things I would have changed other than the venting system. Everything else is done really well. I do have leaf cutter bees. Had one inside, I don't know if you saw it, but I have these on the outside. And these bees have helped me pollinate my greenhouse. So if you're having pollination issues, you need to, it'd be worth your while to look up leaf cutter bees. They're really neat, they're easy to grow, and they're cheap to get. So they're a lot better pollinator than honeybees or any other kind of bumblebee. So that's it though, guys. I would not change the base either, and I have a video of how I built the base for this structure. So that's something I wouldn't change. It's worked really well. It's been solid. But other than that, you can leave me some comments if you have questions.